Okay. Hey guys, what's up? It's kyle9965 here doing another Q&A video tonight. These list of questions I'm answering for my subscriber, Marco Rubio, 2012. He had a set of questions that he was going to send in my last Q&A vid, but he had forgotten about it. So he had sent his questions in that he was going to send in my last Q&A vid, but missed. He sent them in to me about 2 days ago, so I'm answering his questions now. So the first question you have for me is my favorite sport. My favorite sport is mixed martial arts, professional wrestling, and occasionally football. Your next question is my favorite team. My favorite team, I have a few out there, but as far as my number one favorite team, I might get a lot of heat or hate for this or whatever, but I like the Patriots. And yes, even though I'm from Chicago, I do not like a lot of Chicago teams. Chicago teams suck to me in football, baseball, hockey. All Chicago teams suck to me. And yes, I know the Sox won the World Series back in '05. And yes, I know that the Red Hawks, or not the Red Hawks, but the Indians, the Redskins, or whatever our hockey team is named here in Chicago. They won the Stanley Cup. Was it back in 2009? I think 2009. But still, I just think all Chicago teams suck. So my favorite team, as far as football goes, is the Patriots, because Patriots are a dominating football team, and they've been a dominating driving force for I don't know how long. Your next set of questions pertain to music, and it starts off with my favorite type of music. My favorite type of music is R&B, pop music, K-pop, which is abbreviated for Korean pop music. I grew up listening to Korean pop music for 10 years, so as a kid growing up. So even if you look at on my favorites list, some of you guys might notice on my favorite list how I may have some Korean pop artists, musicians, or music videos on my favorites list. And I also like rock. Depends. I don't like heavy metal because I like to understand what I'm listening to. With Korean music, I actually understand. I understand the language, but with hard metal, I don't understand. I like to, like I said, when it comes to music, I like to understand what I'm listening to. So yeah, rock. So pretty much anything but country. I don't like country. I like hip hop slash rap. My favorite being the Fugees. I like them a lot. That's going old school. But as far as current, I listen to Drake or T-Pain, Lil Wayne, and not all their stuff, because a lot of their stuff is kind of trash. With Lil Wayne especially, a lot of his current stuff is kind of crap. But those are like just some of the few current rappers in the hip hop world that I can listen to. Even Nicki Minaj, Nicki Minaj is cool too. My favorite album. Another great question. Very hard for me to answer and put it number and just say my one favorite album. So I would have to name my top 5 favorite albums. So my top 5 favorite albums, starting at number 5, would have to be Chris Brown's Fame. I like that album. Even though Chris Brown is kind of went way over on the left side of the field, turned away from R&B and kind of doing the current pop trend thing, it's still a good album. Chris Brown's Fame album is probably my favorite album currently right now in this generation of music in America, which I think doesn't say much of anything, because I think current music in today, for the U.S. especially, just sucks. So number 5 would be Chris Brown's Fame. Number 4, I have to say Usher's Confessions. Love that album. My number 3 favorite album would be Usher's 8702 album. Love that album too. Better than anything that Usher currently puts on. My second favorite album of all time. My second favorite album of all time, I'd probably say would be Michael Jackson's Bad. And then number 1 would be Michael Jackson's Thriller. So those would be like my top favorite 5 albums. But I guess my favorite album, number 1, would be Michael Jackson's Thriller. Yeah. And then your next question is my favorite song ever. Another really good question, because I listen to a lot of songs in and out of America, and through different time periods, and it's really hard to pick just one good song. Man, dang, this is a really good questions here. My favorite song ever. Once again, I'm gonna have to say it's gonna be a Michael Jackson song, and I'd have to say, and that Michael Jackson song would be probably Human Nature. I think Human Nature and the way you make me feel. Those are probably like my 2 favorite songs ever, and I like a lot of other Michael Jackson songs that I love just as equally as the 2 that I've named. But Human Nature I would like a lot because the rhythm is very soothing, and if I just want to listen to some soothing music, if I feel a little bit down, I just want to listen to a soothing song where it's not just banging, make you want to dance, but just something just to sit down and listen to, and it's calm and peaceful. I like listening to Michael Jackson's Human Nature. But then also like Michael Jackson's The Way You Make Me Feel, because it's that feel-good pop song, where it expresses how one may feel towards a loved one, and the lyrics and the rhythm all put together express that feeling that you may have towards a loved one. So those would be my favorite songs. I know you said song, but I have to put these 2 like head to head. Favorite song ever. The next question you have is my favorite type of movie, horror, thriller, etc. I can watch horror films. I don't particularly care for horror films now because to me they're all predictable. They all have the same plan and formula and how everything plays out. So horror films and thrillers are crappy to me now. But my favorite type of movies are action and humor. Love a good action movie if the plot's really good, and like say good action scenes and stuff, and kick butt action, and also like comedy. I love a good I need a good laugh, type of films. It's nothing like a good laugh, and I wouldn't go further to even say there are times where I even like I would prefer comedy over action, but those would be my 2 favorite movies that I like to see. And even science fiction too. I wouldn't mind a science fiction film. I don't know if you would put that in category with action, but science fiction, I'd put as my favorite type of movie too. Favorite movie? Wow, another good question. Favorite movie? I'd have to say Star Wars. The whole Star Wars saga from episodes 1 through 6. That complete saga. That's the legit stuff right there. Besides Star Wars, another movie I'll have to put, 2 other movies I have to put up top as my favorite movies of all time, and that's Avatar and Michael Jackson's This Is It. So yeah, those would be my favorite movie or movies. Then your next question is, what movie would I like to see get created that's not already out? Another great question. That's another hard one too, because it's like what has not been done. Everything's been pretty much done and thought of. If not, movies that we have now are recycled movies that have been already made in the 1930s and 50s and 60s or whatever. So that's really hard. I have to think about this. What movie would I like to see get creative that's not already out? Well, I wouldn't want a video game-based movie because a lot of video games and even Japanese anime-based movies that they try to make into real-life action, they all suck and go down the drain. So, can't really think of a comic book superhero movie that I'd like to see because all of those have been pretty much done. You name it, it's been done. I don't know. I don't know what kind of movie would I like to see that's not already been out yet. Well, I could say one, but I think it's already in the works of being made anyway, and that's Voltron. I don't know if you remember that or not. Old 1980s cartoon. Then there was the CGI animated version back in the 90s, which was the generation that I grew up watching of that version of Voltron. So I like to see a Voltron movie, and I have heard that they're going to make an actual live Voltron movie due to the success and stuff of Transformers. It's not being made by the same people who made Transformers, two different studios and people, but they wanted to make a real life Voltron movie because of the success of Transformers. So I like to see that. Like I said, that's a movie that's already currently in the works, but that's the only one I can think of right now that I'd like to see. Yeah. Other than that, maybe also to a Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know, live action movie. Now they have made a Sonic the Hedgehog fan made movie, where it's a low budget film. I haven't seen it yet. I think it's already out, but I think with the right money and the right resources to make a CGI animated real life Sonic action movie, I think that I couldn't see how you can go wrong with that. But like I said, you have to be leery with that because a lot of video game anime based movies turn into complete garbage and trash. But yeah, and at the end you said you have a lot of questions, but that's fine, because I prefer when people ask me as many questions as they like, because I want to be able to answer as many questions that everyone has, and if possible, want to answer every question that everyone sends in. So don't worry about however many questions you sent in. So this wraps up my Q&A session. Thank you, Marco Rubio 2012, for sending in your questions. Hopefully I answered them to the best of my ability. Let me know what you thought of the vid. Let me know what other subscribers you guys, if you guys are watching this, let me know what you guys thought of the questions, if you liked it, didn't like it. I'll be doing another Q&A vid probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks, and I'll give you guys a heads up so you can send in your questions. So yeah, peace out. Have a good night. Peace.